thinks we're doing a speed test thing. Slow down. Free food. Crab apples, sloes. That's a useful use of a common. Oh, they're amazing. Look at them. So, the marl pits may be over there. Should we walk over there and have a look?
I don't even know what a marl pit is.
Marl pits were where they dug limey clay out of a pit to spread on the field so that it balanced out the acidic soil. There's at least 2 or 3 in this bit of the common, and on the map you can see there's one here somewhere, but it's obviously all overgrown. So I think bit is actually common, which hasn't been cut. There's probably just a hedgerow that's got wider and wider, because you can see willows behind there, so maybe there is more moisture back there. I reckon there's one in there somewhere, but I don't think I'm going to go in and find out. Would you like to have a look?
Well, it looks a bit overgrown.
Yeah, it does. Wimps. So I spoke to a local farmer, or ex-farmer, and he said his family they've still got common rights, so they don't use them anymore. His family used to graze cattle on this area. They had a dairy farm. And he said then in the 1960s, like a lot of commons, they stopped using it, mainly because of traffic, so they couldn't keep the animals off the roads. So he said it just got neglected and grown up with shrubs and blackthorn and things. And so this would have all been overgrown. And then in 1976, which was a drought year, they ran out of food for their cattle. They ran out of hay. So they decided to cut all the shrubby growth to feed their cattle. And they had these new disc cutters at the time on their tractors in 76, and he said they cut the whole lot, but these oak trees, the disc cutters couldn't go through them. They'd reached such a size that they were the only thing these disc cutters couldn't go through. So hence they've survived. Never heard of a pound?
Well, yes, but only in the very general sense, not in the specific village use sense.
Is that what it says? To round up stray animal?
Yeah.
It's not very relevant to common land, so...
Well, it is kind of, isn't it?
Well, maybe.
What if a commoner
had a cow on the common and it strayed where it shouldn't?
Exactly.
They might put it in a pound.
Exactly.
Oh.
Or how about this? A commoner has a right to one lease.
Yes.
And lets 3 of its animals onto the common. What happens then?
Put it in the pound.
There you are. Very relevant.
You get this in common land where the houses are set back off the road and they've got a bit of common land in front of them, like in the New Forest. Yeah, that's all open access land, isn't it? So that'll all be bits of common strips.
Okay, that's quite clear from here, isn't it?
Yeah.
That stretch there.
Yeah.
And then the bit, okay, that's another bit.
Yeah.
We drove through.
So you can see how it all goes round in a circle. It goes round, look. It's all like a linear. Oh, blackberries. Can't have too many blackberries.
The higher road.
Oh, the common. Yeah, but this field here is this
one, yeah.
Yeah, no. That was obviously taken out of the common some time ago, I'd say. Well, apparently they had trouble with their water supply until, I think until the 20th century, they were buying water in churns I think for a while it came in through the railway and they'd buy a churn and take it home because they didn't have a good water supply, which seems odd. They organised a system of reservoirs which took water from Fonthill Abbey, apparently, and they stored it at a farm. I think we're going to walk past it, aren't we? Hat's Farm. And that worked for a while but wasn't very reliable until they finally got mains water in 1976, which was the drought year. So maybe that's the reservoir system completely failed in the drought year, and it wasn't till then that they actually got proper mains.
Oh, that is surprising.
Yeah. Yeah.
So obviously this wouldn't be grazing.
Well, that's quite interesting, isn't it? Because that looks like quite old woodland, doesn't it?
It does.
That's older than the 1960s, I reckon. Could be wrong, but
Well, no.
not being an ecologist, but
No, but these are oaks, aren't they? And they're quite slow growing and they're quite big. So I'd imagine...
well, they're not very big of girth.
They're not, but they're tall.
Yeah, they're just growing straight up because they're crowded.
Yeah.
But it does kind of look like proper woodland, doesn't it?
It does. So what would a commoner's rights be here, Mendy?
Well, I guess in that they may still have grazed it, but they might have grazed under trees. So there may have always been trees, but not so much undergrowth. Possibly,
Okay.
it might have been grazed. Or they may have had rights for collecting firewood or for collecting wood for mending fences and stuff, mending their houses.
Pigs, of course.
Pigs,
On
yeah, pigs.
acorns.
Yeah, they might have
And
had.
that still occurs in the New Forest, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it may probably was used in some way,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it may be more overgrown now than it was, possibly.
Yeah. Quite likely, I guess.
Nice bit of woodland.
Quite steep, isn't it?
Yeah, you can see why you wouldn't.
A landowner might say, yeah, you can have that bit.
Yeah,
I can't do anything with that.
exactly. But I would have thought the timber would be quite useful.
Yeah.
Or if nothing else, just for firewood.
Yeah. That path doesn't exist on the map.
Ah, it's a secret path. Ah, water. It's nice to have water burbling, especially this summer. Well, yeah, I think they read a newspaper clipping that said they had a stream which never really dried up, but it was befouled with animal muck, and yeah, so it wasn't good for drinking, and only the very poorest drank from it. Other people brought their water in, which is couldn't even afford water. Hops! Oh, there it is. Oh, mate, apparently you can still see the remains of the reservoirs. Well, that was when that article was written, so that was probably a few years ago, wasn't it? Maybe they're gone now. Oh, is that a bit of it? I don't know. I'm guessing. That bit of stone that's sticking out, look, might be underground. That might just be the tip of it.
Good view of Semley, and then directly behind is Pitt House.
Yeah, bulrushes. They would have been useful because they used to make all kinds out of bulrushes, didn't they? Matting for the floors, baskets.
Thatch?
Maybe. They might have used it for thatch. So even if the common was overgrown and not much good for grazing, or if it was too wet to graze, there might still be other uses that...
And commoners would have the right to harvest the bulrushes, presumably, or they just would.
Probably. I would.
Which implies that this is a very wet area.
Yeah.
And that makes it doubly surprising that the water supply was an issue.
Yeah. It is odd.
Yeah.
Equisetum. Quite a lot of that. Is that a native plant?